Of Valley News Now, and I'm here with Linda Funk today, North Dakota Soybean Council Food and Farm Tour happening all this week.
It was fabulous.
It was fabulous.
It was
we got to do a little Facebook Live with
Absolutely.
Suzanne, and it was really fun to see. I mean, everybody out there, there's students from culinary departments. I mean, just all the
Registered
different
dietitians.
People. Yes,
We
yes.
had people from both coasts there.
Oh my gosh.
And then people from North Dakota. So
I
we had
love it.
influencers, we had some chefs. It was really a great mix of people.
Nice,
And it's
nice.
all about having them understand what soybeans are about.
Right.
You know, the farm, what happens at the farm.
Right, yeah.
But then as it travels through, what happens with all the food,
Yes.
and why would you want to start adding soy into your diet? You know,
Perfect.
so it's those kinds of things that we talked about. They even got to make a few recipes along the way.
Oh, yes, and we have some lovely food
Yeah.
that you can't
Yeah.
see yet, but we've got a camera angle shot
Sure.
ready so that you can. So again, let's just maybe back up a tiny
Sure.
bit to you. I mean, you literally brought people to the farm, and I saw people taking rides in the combine.
No, you know what? It's the absolute most favorite of everybody that comes on
Really?
the tours. We've been doing it for 5 or 6 years, and that is always the highest
The highlight.
rated piece of the whole tour. And it's because people love talking to farmers.
Yeah.
Farmers do what they do, and they tell people why they do what they do.
Right, and they're passionate
And they're
about it.
passionate about it. They're passionate about making sure they're growing sustainable soybeans and making sure that they're making their land the best that they can make it. And so it's just wonderful to hear why they do what they do.
It is. It is. I mean, we talked about sustainability all the time.
Absolutely.
And I mean, farmers have been doing this
For a long
forever.
time.
Yeah, yeah. They're like, yeah, this is just our
Yeah.
daily life.
Yeah.
And then you got to bring people to the processing plant.
Right,
Which is
SB&B.
so neat.
Yes. So, you know, it's like, okay, so you see that they're picked and they go through the combine into I can't think of the name, but like an auger type thing.
Yeah.
And then onto a truck, and then what happens to them?
Yeah.
So we got to go and see that, you know, the farmer brings it in, they do all the testing, making sure it's what they want, and then they clean and sort and do all
Wow.
of that kind of stuff to them.
Yeah.
And then bag them however the customer wants them.
Sure.
And you know what? North Dakota can be so proud. The soybeans go around the world.
Wow.
And they stay here too. There's domestic too,
Yeah.
but they go around the world. So
Isn't that
feeding
neat?
people.
Yes.
So it's very
It's
really
really
heartwarming.
cool, and it's something that we kind of take for granted because we just grow
Honestly.
up here and soybeans.
You see all
and-
the fields,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
like, yeah, that's a soybean field. Yeah.
Yeah, but
So-
it's neat to see it through the eyes of,
It
especially
is.
people that haven't really seen farming firsthand. It's got to be like, oh yeah, this is a really neat thing we do here.
Absolutely. And many of them had never been on a soybean farm
Wow.
before.
How cool.
So they were really excited about it. And of course, Jim is just a great farmer.
Yeah.
So
Yes, shout out to him for
yeah.
being able to share
Yeah.
what he does and
Which
his
is super.
passion and So then beyond that, like you said, so we see what it is. Okay, great. Well, why would we want to use soybeans in our diet, and how can we incorporate that? So you even go there.
we do. And you picked it up right away. I always say there's a how and a why.
Yeah.
And actually a why and a how. The why are the benefits.
Yeah.
You know, soy protein is a complete protein, so it's equal to meat. It is lean protein, and it has heart health benefits. It has some cancer positivity towards
Yes.
cancer. So there's just so many great things
Right.
that's being discovered. And the latest is that this study is actually showing that it's really good for wrinkles.
Ooh, we like that.
So, and
Yes.
it's ingesting it. It's not topical, so you have to eat
Okay.
the soy. And it's really about, 1 to 2 servings per day. So it's not like it's a huge amount of soy at all.
No.
And there's so many great ways these days to start adding it.
Yes.
And people always say to me, oh, if I'm going to start eating soy, then I can't continue to eat anything else that I've always loved. And that's so untrue.
Right.
It really is not correct. Meat and soy go beautiful together.
Nice.
You know, you can do a beautiful miso sauce with a steak. You know, you can do an edamame salad next to a pork chop. There are so many ways that meat and soy go together.
It doesn't have to be one or the other.
It doesn't have to be one or the other. But I always say, if people are choosing a plant-based diet, we want them to eat soy because it's a preferred plant protein because of the nutritional profile and all the health benefits.
Yes, and the complete protein, like
It's
you
complete
said. And if
protein.
that's like, you're like, what are you even talking about? Well, meat proteins have all the amino acids that our
Yes.
body needs, but most plant proteins are incomplete in the fact that these have some, these have some. Vegetarians got to be really careful
About making sure they're eating it to
Yeah.
make a complete protein.
Right, but soy is a complete protein, and it's plant-based, so it's perfect
Exactly.
for people that
It
are
is.
trying to, incorporate more of that into their diet.
And it's so easy to do.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, speaking of, you were also on, I want to say, North Dakota Today this morning. And
Yes.
so there's a little bit easier way to show all the foods.
okay.
And so that there was taste testing. So you got to go watch that segment too on Facebook. It'll be on North Dakota Today's Facebook page later, valleynewslive.com. But we did sneak a few things over here as well.
You know, it's starting to be fall today.
Yes,
today
today.
it is. And I always think about kids coming home from school, wanting some healthy snacks.
Yeah.
You know, or even just relaxing in the evening, wanting something warm and
Yes.
delicious.
Exactly. It's
So,
fall. That's what
it's
you kind of
fall.
feel like. Yeah.
So here is
all right. And
the
I'm going to.
chocolate soy milk.
I'm going to switch our camera. Let's see if our setup works. Woohoo.
Perfect.
There we go.
Chocolate soy milk.
You had me at chocolate.
9 grams of protein per serving. So nice
Yeah,
protein
same
in
as
here.
milk, yep.
Same as milk. And I call this instant hot chocolate. All you do is put it in a microwavable mug, put it in your microwave for, 30 seconds to a minute.
Yeah.
And it's hot.
Oh
and
my
it's a hot
gosh. So no
chocolate.
mix, no
no
anything.
fuss.
No mix, no
You
fuss.
know, and then you can add
And
the
you have
marshmallows.
can I grab this
Sure.
one? We'll see if we can show this.
You can get the
Oh,
marshmallows,
yes.
and I did
Oh, gosh.
that's okay. And then did a little chocolate shaving on it.
Oh,
so,
my
You know,
goodness.
it's just to make it easy and convenient for everyone.
Right. Yeah.
And just, I can do this. I want people to say, I can do
I
this.
can do this. And I mean, I think we think so many times we have to choose convenience or health.
Right.
Well, here's instant hot chocolate and one that's easier than mixing the packs or orange chocolate syrup or anything. Yeah.
So
Oh,
it's
yummy,
really
yummy.
great. And the other thing is miso. Now, people might not be as familiar with miso.
Yeah.
It's a fermented product. And what's great about it is it adds this depth of flavor to anything and everything.
Okay, we like this.
So we did a caramel sauce.
I'm like, how is this? This is
Yeah.
soy. Okay.
So this is a homemade
All
caramel
right,
sauce.
Let's see if we can get it.
Actually, the
There
students
we
at the
go.
culinary school made it for me
Oh
yesterday.
my goodness!
So if you
Nice.
want to make your own, take your favorite caramel sauce recipe and add some miso to it. But also, you can buy the prepared caramel sauce. I bought a packet today in produce department. And then just take the miso and stir it in.
Wow. So that just intensifies flavor.
Does. It's that umami flavor.
Oh.
So it's really a nice, people will say, oh, what's different about this?
Right.
What did you do? And it's all about the miso. It just
Wow.
adds that impact. And there's white miso and there's red miso. Red miso is more intense.
Okay.
White is a little less intense. So I would start with white with
Sure.
that kind of a sauce.
Yeah.
And then just enjoy it.
What a fun thing to play around with,
It
too.
is fun.
And a way
It
to get
is
those
fun.
the protein in, the essential amino acids, like you said, all these health benefits, good for our heart, good for our skin.
And I always also say about desserts, adding a little bit of soy to a dessert makes you feel a little bit better about
That's true.
eating it.
Yes,
So,
that's
and
true.
then with the apples for kids, it's perfect.
It is
really
perfect.
is.
I love that when my kids are big now, but we did caramel apples a lot.
Yeah.
And so what a cool thing to be able to add some
Yeah.
soy in there
Yeah.
too. So we picked another couple of things, so I'm curious. What do you got here?
This is the Kashi cereal.
Ooh,
And can I
okay.
just go out of frame for a
yep,
moment?
you absolutely can.
So if you hold
Okay,
this.
I will hold this one.
So this is the Kashi cereal. And it's
Yum.
in every supermarket
Yeah.
these days.
Yep.
And what's great about it is the first ingredient is soy flakes.
Oh, cool.
And again, you're getting 10 grams of protein per 3/4
wow,
cup
without even the milk.
without even the milk. So then you add in the soy milk, a cup of it, and you've got another 8.
Oh my gosh.
And so then, the health claim stated back in 1999 that if you consume 25 grams of soy protein in the context of a healthy diet,
Okay.
it may reduce the risk of coronary heart disease.
Wow.
25 grams is about 1 to 2 servings.
Okay.
So, you've got it.
Oh, easy. Yeah,
With
this is already
you-
3.
So
Yeah.
people are, oh my goodness, it's too hard. I mean, how do I know if I'm getting 25 grams?
Right.
This is how as easy as it
Easy
gets.
as- Yeah, so you can put it in that simple terms,
Absolutely.
1 to 2 servings,
Yes.
and then you can decide, or depending on what you choose
Yes.
each day, it kind of will average out.
Yes.
Yeah, and then you got some tofu too.
This is the silken tofu.
Okay,
I love it. This is Tetra Pak, so it's shelf stable.
nice.
So you can always have it in your pantry.
That's really cool.
And then when you open it, obviously you have to refrigerate it. But the quickest, easiest dessert known to man is taking this, put it in your blender, add in a jar of lemon curd,
Okay.
whirl it up, and you have pudding, lemon pudding. You can put it in a parfait glass, have with fruit, or
Sure.
you can put it in a graham cracker crust and have it as a dessert also.
I like that. I
So
like
it's really
the
easy.
kashi in between and a parfait.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Get me excited.
So again, it's those kinds of easy things. And people typically get a little nervous about tofu because it's like, what do I do with it? But I always say, ask yourself, what do you want it to do? If you want it to
okay.
blend and be creamy, it's a silken. If you want it to keep its shape, it's the water packed.
Okay, okay. So I'm going to be crazy to see what you think of my crazy thing I used to do when the kids were little.
Okay.
But instead of cutting up, well, I would cut up cheese. I mean, they'd eat cheese things too, but I would cut the tofu up like that.
Absolutely.
And they could just, eat it like a
kids
little
love
cheese.
it.
They love
They
it.
love it.
And you feel so good. You're like, oh, they're getting
Absolutely.
all of this
And
nutrition.
getting good protein,
Yeah.
good lean protein.
Good lean protein. Awesome, Linda. This is amazing.
good.
So we're also going to show you some resources. And so we're going to bring you over to Facebook and just pop open another tab and you can come along with us. And so the Soy Foods Council, both on Facebook, and we'll go to their website in a minute, is where you've got a ton of recipes.
Tons of recipes and the research, all of that's there.
Oh, wow.
So it's pretty easy to navigate. And if you're looking for a specific recipe, you can go to the recipe area and put in dessert or whatever.
Nice.
And it's all there. We just have tons and tons of information
And
there.
I love that the education piece is there too. So
Yeah,
if you're like,
yeah.
well, I'm not so sure about this soybean
Right.
stuff, I'd like to check into it. The research is right there as
Yeah.
well. And then this is the Soy Foods Council website.
Yeah.
So
and so in there you can see recipes, and you would click on the recipes, and away you go. So.
oh, look at all of
Yeah.
this. Yeah, like you said,
So
it's just
pretty
all right
easy.
there. Oh, and
Pretty
some
easy.
beautiful,
Beautiful.
delicious
We
food.
do professional photography because we want things to look beautiful. You know,
Yes.
you eat with your eyes.
You do.
And
yeah, you do.
in addition to that, it has to taste good the first time.
True.
You know,
Yeah.
I say this too. No matter how healthy something is, if it doesn't taste good, nobody's going to eat it.
Yep.
So it's figuring out how to make this all be delicious and healthy for you.
Look good and taste good, so you know that
Absolutely.
those recipes are amazing.
Absolutely.
I think we pick recipes with our eyes too.
I agree with
know?
you. I do agree with you on that.
It's like, ooh, I'm going to try that.
You know,
That
a
looks
cookbook that
delicious.
has the recipe with
Yes,
photos,
the photos.
you're more likely to make that versus
You
the one
are-
that doesn't.
Well, you know what your target is too.
Exactly.
For me, you
You
know,
can
for
kinda
those of us
see.
that aren't as good of a cooks, it's like, okay, that's what it's supposed
That's
to
what
look
it's
like.
supposed to be close to that. So,
So that's a great resource. And then also we'll mention the
Yes.
North Dakota
North
Soybean
Dakota.
Council. And this is more for farmers, but there's also educational things there,
Sure.
news and resources. So that's ndsoybean.org. They also have a Facebook page as well, North Dakota ND Soybean Council. And then I'm just going to leave us on so it's thesoyfoodcouncil.com.
right.
And all the recipes. I mean, look at all of this amazing information. And I want to eat that. This has been wonderful.
Oh,
Thank you so much for
thank
all
you.
the effort bringing all the
Thank you.
stuff
Wow,
here.
you're so kind. Thank you.
It was wonderful. And this great tour that you've been
Yeah.
on. And so hopefully, I keep wanting to go. I've had 2 years here that it hasn't
Yeah.
worked out, but maybe next year.
And
There's
you know,
always maybe next year.
People got to see the people that are from Boston and from LA. They got to see North Dakota in a beautiful, fun way, and
Isn't that
they went
neat?
away going, "Wow, it's a really cool place to
Yeah.
be." So.
Well, I thank you for just being a part of putting
thank
it
you.
on, because that is, like you said, people come from there, and then that spreads the word too.
It
Hey,
does.
North Dakota's not like just in Iceland.
No, it is not. Lots
it's actually
happening here.
quite beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah, and they get to meet
And
see
all the
community members.
restaurants and oh my goodness,
Yeah, I know.
it's so fabulous.
There's so much more than I think
Yeah.
we even think growing up
agree.
here. So
I agree.
awesome. Thank you so much.
welcome.
Linda Funk. She is the executive director of the Soy Foods Council, and the North Dakota Soybean Council Food and Farm Tour is what we're talking about. And I am Jessie Amet, your host of Valley News Now. Perfect. Oh my gosh.